Hi, and welcome back to Tremor Trails. Good morning for us. We're here at the Lasfit mine, which is on the Eastern Mojave Heritage Trail. We're doing this trail from beginning to end. It's 4 sections in all and over 500 miles of nothing but overlanding and wheeling kind of trails all through the Mojave Preserve in Southern California. If you missed our first video, we started the trail out in Needles, California, drove through a bunch of washes, got to the historical Goff schoolhouse, and then got up here to the Lasfit mine where we spent the night. Today we plan on heading even further back out into the desert and seeing some really cool historical things and highlights along the ways. So here we go with section 1, part 2 of the Eastern Mojave Heritage Trail. Let's go. All right, the East Mojave Heritage Trail, Section 1, Day 2. We did 70.5 miles and it took us 6.5 hours to get it done. Today we're going to experience all the different types of sand, loose and hard. We have ditches, rock gardens, washes. We have off-camber spots. We have lots of spots that are tight with pinstriping. Really today, the trail throws everything at us. A lot of it is going to be remote, and at the end of the day, we got caught in rain. Yes, in the desert. The modes I used were 4-high mud and ruts with some lockers. The highlights, there's several that we're going to get to today. The crossroads of the Mojave Road, the Nevada Southern Railroad Monument, Joshua Tree Forest, and of course Mailbox 1. Each section you're looking for a mailbox. Please remember that our cameras have stabilizers on them. The hills are not going to appear steep and the bumps are not going to be as rough. To recap from the first episode, Lasfit Mine is one of your target points to camp at for the night. There aren't a whole lot of camping spots on Section 1. The area that we are in is the Signal Hill District. You're going to find a lot of old abandoned silver mines and gold mines floating around here. Some are completely dilapidated but still have some of the ruins, and some are just holes in the ground. Nonetheless, we got to get out of these foothills. We got over 100 miles to do today, so it's time to get up on the trail and make up some time, with our first stop being the crossroads of the Mojave Road. So it's a little windy, hopefully you can hear me. So here we are at the crossroads of the Mojave Road. Now, if you don't want to do the Mojave Heritage Trail, you can do the actual Mojave Road, which is a lot easier and a lot easier on your paint as well. We're going to stay on this trail for a little bit, then we're going to turn back off and start heading towards the town of Searchlight. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you don't have to do the Eastern Mojave Heritage Trail if you want to get out and explore this place. You can do the easier Mojave Trail. Now, let's get back up on the trail. This is the Nevada Railroad, and what they did is they built a railroad all the way out here in the middle of nowhere to go to all the mines up in Searchlight, and in the first spot where we were on the last video, Goff's. Of course, the railway no longer exists. They went bust with all of the mines, but it's a cool little memorial that they put up, and this is an actual part of the grade. This is where the line actually went through. They just left this itty bitty piece right here with the memorial. Cool place to check out for a few minutes, stretch your legs. Well, of course, we're in the Joshua Forest right now, the Joshua Tree Forest. We're about to head up towards some more mountains, and then we're going to head back towards the town of Searchlight. So let's go. One of the things that you search for out on the 4 sections of the EMHT is a mailbox in each of those sections. The mailbox is hidden out on the trail in some remote, obscure place, and the goal is to find the mailbox, put your name on it. It's kind of like a badge of honor. The folder in the mailbox has about 1 signature for every month average, so it just kind of shows how remote and challenging this trail is. Little did I know how challenging and remote this section of the trail was about to be. The forecast called for a trace of rain, but looking at these clouds building and getting stronger, I knew that we were probably going to get more than a trace. I also knew that there really wasn't any turning back. Back to the closest fuel station was about 60 miles, and we needed to get towards Searchlight, so we had to go through this section. Also, we knew that this section of part 1 was going to be the hardest and most challenging. I wish that the cameras kind of showed you just how tight and extreme these things are, but it's just the way it is sometimes. Nonetheless, let's go find that dang mailbox. At the Heritage Trail box that we've been looking for. Guys, since we left you last at the railroad tracks, this trail, I don't know how to put it, sucks.
Hell.
If you have a motorcycle, expect to get pinstripes. That's how bad this trail is. On top of that, as you can see, it's been pouring down rain on us. The place that gets like 3 inches a year, and we happen to be on the day that we're getting those 3 inches, so it's getting pretty sketchy. Well, we made it to the Heritage box, so we're going to sign our name. We're going to try and get the heck out of here. I'm telling you guys, it's been torture for the past 4 hours. All right. So the day just continued to get worse for us, and I was extremely exhausted from the terrain that we were navigating. I hardly ever tap out, but we were having cameras go south because of the rain and everything else, and it was just time to quit filming and concentrate on getting off the trail. It wasn't a life or death situation or anything like that. It was just intense driving and hoping that the rain didn't collect up a bunch of washes and we got trapped. So good morning, welcome to our campsite. As you can see, it's not much of one. No, it's a hotel. We had to get off the trail yesterday. The rain just kept coming in, and it was just one of those days that you want to forget about. You're definitely going to own your pride badge doing this trail from beginning to end. That section of trail was probably some of the most mentally draining trail I've ever done in my life. It wasn't necessarily super technical, but it was literally turning the wheel, dodging Joshua trees and rocks, cactuses. It was, I hesitate to even call that part of the trail a trail. Like if you were on a motorcycle, you would probably be getting pinstripes. That's how overgrown and beat up this trail was. Nonetheless, the rain wouldn't let up. We got off the trail, got us a hotel room for the night, and now we are ready to get back up on the trail and finish the final leg of the first sections. All right, to recap, if you look over on the right-hand side, you can see me circling with my mouse. If I can get it over there, that's kind of where the mailbox is located. It's in a secret spot. I didn't want to give it away, but it's just kind of over there. When we left you guys, we finished up the day, got down the mountains, got over to Searchlight, slept, Today we're going to get on 164, we're going to go to the ghost town of Nipton and start our trail. We have about 30 miles left of the EMHT, so we got about an hour and a half to kill. We're going to go find the old historic ghost town of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was around in the 1800s, and actually Virgil Earp, Wyatt Earp's brother, had a hotel there. I was able to map it and find it, so let's go. First stop of today is the historic, thriving metropolis that is Vanderbilt, California. So gold has been around these hills for a long time, starting all the way back in the 1800s, and it continued all the way up until like 1940, 1930, when the ore finally just kind of gave out. Hopefully in the videos it shows up, there's just tons of mine shafts everywhere where they didn't really have necessarily a solid ore that they were following, they were just all hunting. But I found it really cool that this old little ghost town, if you can even call it that, had so much historical significance for back then. It's not even close to a highway, a train track, nothing. We're out in the middle of nowhere on the Mojave Preserve. The cool thing about this spot that is very remote out in the middle of nowhere is that Wyatt Earp's brother, Virgil, who lost his arm in Tombstone during the fight, actually had a hotel here. It was the only two-story building here, and I don't know how long he stayed here. We weren't able to find out that information, but the only remaining structure is this old cabin behind us. Really cool piece of history. This trail was not marked or mapped out on Onyx. I am an Onyx trail guide, not that that matters, but if you do have Onyx and you want to get out here, we just mapped it, so it will be up on the app shortly. Leaving Vanderbilt, we got 34 miles left of the first section of the EMHT. It has been a fun and challenging 2.5 days. So let's get to the end of this trail and wrap it all up. Well, we made it. 3 long days on Section 1 of the Eastern Mojave Heritage Trail. You're gonna scratch the crap out of your paint. There are some tough obstacles along the way. There are moments where you just want to kick and scream like a little child, and then there's moments where it pays off. We're here at Willow Spring, which is the very end of the first section. Day 1 was nothing but washes out of needle, more like rock washes. We finally got to Goff Schoolhouse at the end of day 1, then we slept at the Liza Ray Mine that evening. We then got onto the trail really early and took off on day 2 towards Carruthers Springs, never properly found it, and then our goal was to look for the mailbox. All in that time, we had a storm come blowing in that wasn't really forecasted. It was supposed to be like a trace of rain where we were, and it rained from probably 1 till 7 p.m. So we were stranded out there. Not stranded, but we were clinching pretty hard. We're in washes and stuff the whole time. It wasn't even really a trail. I don't know how to describe it. You could kind of see where you're supposed to go, but it was just bushes and trees and scrapes, washouts galore. I mean, it was intense and insane. Crawled our butts into town, slept in a hotel, woke up early this morning, and got back up on the trail outside of Searchlight. We did Searchlight, then we took a side trek. Of course, we showed you the old ghost town of Vanderbilt. From there, we drove another probably 50 miles across just expanse desert. Got over here to where the solar factories are now, and then the final leg is up this mountain ridge to Willow Spring. To say we are tired is an understatement. But it's something we've wanted to do. And now that we got here, I feel like, yeah, we accomplished something. I don't know what we accomplished, but we definitely got some more scratches on the Tremor. That's okay. The truck performed flawless in the mud, in the rain, in the gullies, in the washes. It did great. I was told in the beginning that Section 1 wasn't the most scenic of all the sections, and I have to agree with that. There are some beautiful spots out here, but a lot of it was just Joshua trees and just desert brush. But we wanted to start on Section 1 and do 2 and then 3 and then 4, do it the whole way, all the way through. So in the next sections, it's supposed to get even more gorgeous with volcanoes and volcano tubes and cinder plume thingies, canyons that are cut from water that are way deep, mountain ranges. It's supposed to be exciting from what I've been told. I hope it's nothing like Section 1, because I figured out why there is not a whole lot of stuff on YouTube about Section 1. The only way that I would ever do this trail again, guys, is if I'm going to say that I'm going to do the Eastern Mojave Heritage Trail from beginning to end. That's really the only reason to do it. Other than that, just kind of hunt and peck as you go through things. I think we're just a little bit crazy, and we set a goal to do it. It was strenuous, and definitely your paint is going to pay the price. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thanks so much for following along on the first 2 videos of the first section. We're going to head on home, lick our wounds, and then get back out here again and finish up Section 2, 3, and 4, hopefully throughout the year. So please follow along. Thank you so much for watching this video and all the videos. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. I will do my best to get to you. And until next time, we hope to see you guys out there on the trails. Bye.